it just says it's waiting for you to go live still. Yep, it's on now. Yeah, we got the rain won't be long screen. Oh, gotcha. Do you move it downstairs for like gameplay or something?
Yeah, sometimes if I'm operating on... Okay, so I think we are live right now on YouTube. It should say the Sandscour Greatbow. So please confirm in the chat if everything is working before we get going with this. Yeah, you should be able to see it in front of you right now. Just waiting for the chat to respond. So we've got Grand Engin in the chat. We've got Yeezel, Postporn TV, Alec, Fountain TCG Cards, who's actually on screen with me right now, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could just wait. Music is a bit too loud. Oh yeah, that's for the thing beforehand. So I'm assuming the stream is a little bit behind. So I think we are. I can actually test it myself. Let me just wait. Music. Okay, yeah, it works. I think. I think it works. So we are all good. Just let us know in the comments or the chat if we are not working for whatever reason.
Got a couple of look goods. Looks great. I think we're good.
Yeah, sweet. So here we are, Azalea Cult number 6. Welcome back to Go Again Gaming. Welcome back to the Azalea Cult here in the sand-scoured pits today. They've been.
That's right. I mean, it's still grimy. Sand is grimy.
It is, yeah, and a bit gritty. You know when you've gone to the beach, it just gets everywhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, we can get everywhere as well with this new bow. I mean, it's looking pretty sick. First of all, what are your initial thoughts when you look at it?
Real quick, let me get it out of the way and just tell you, dude, great job on the spoiler video. It's fantastic.
Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah. So the story is as well, for people out there that are viewing this now or in the future, I did actually have a video queued up the night before to release today. Upon waking up today, I had one more look at it and I was just like, right, I need to change a few things, I need to add a few more sound effects. And I think that added to the overall sort of ambience, and it also made the aspect ratio look like it was widescreen to give a more sort of cinematic experience and feel. So hopefully that came across.
You're still getting that music too loud, by the way. They want the music down a little bit.
Okay, cool. Let me just see if this works. Of course, right, yeah, because this video that I'm using in the background of this particular stream is the video that I used in the spoiler video. So yeah, the music would be too loud. So thank you very much for pointing that out. So yeah, hopefully now that has been reduced in volume. So yeah, if you could just confirm in the chat, that would be fantastic. Yeezel is saying, yep, music is still loud, could go down at least 50%. Yeah, I have just done that, so hopefully the chat will carry on now. And confirm. But yeah, should be fine now. Good now, they're saying. Lovely old job. So yeah, what do you think initially of this card then, Jim? Looking at it, just looking at it without going too deep. First of all,
I mean, the card itself, just the look of the card is fantastic. I mean, the whole Dynasty art style and the new Marvel for the weapons. Although it's not like full art like the dragons, I still dig it. I like the border. I like the black text box. I think they went a cool direction for this set with that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really nice. I mean, if you look at the Marvel art cards as well, like the equipments, the sort of black and gold hues actually throws us back to, if you remember the old Crucible of War box art. That's got like the black and gold hues and like the iron tipping into the grooves to make weapons and stuff. So it's got that sort of feel going on, which I think is really, really nice. But yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, I did what I could do, because obviously this picture here is from the actual cards, which you can see in front of us right now. So
right, you didn't get like the plaque or whatever that they sometimes send with the spoilers. So you just had the physical card, and that's it. I assume
that's it. Yeah, that's literally all I had to work with regards to the image that I edited with Azalea holding the bow. All I had to use was the physical assets that LSS sent us. And as you can see, the screen, my screen is a little bit smaller on the stream here, so you won't be able to see it full screen. But they gave me the Marvel version and the rainbow foil version. So
gorgeous.
Yeah, looking quite nice. And what I plan to do is I plan to give one of these away at Worlds.
Sick.
In some shape or form. I don't know how that's going to be done yet, but stay tuned to the Azalea cult, and stay tuned to the socials to find out how you could do that, because I'm sure you'll see that be floated around to win one of those. But yeah, looks absolutely awesome, looks quality. And of course, it's a Ranger weapon bow, so Sandscour Greatbow, Ranger weapon bow. Once per turn action, you can pay 1 to look at the top card of your deck. You may put an arrow card from your hand or the top of your deck face up into your arsenal and go again. So that's nice. And then, of course, we've got whenever an arrow is put face up into an arsenal from your deck, face up into arsenal from your deck, you get an aim counter on it. So a lot of people are thinking right now, oh, what is this? Like, what is it? How does this compare to like Redliner and Death Dealer and all this sort of stuff? But I think the main premise is we don't know what the aim counters do yet. That's one of the main things, isn't it? Right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, as I was saying kind of before we started, some of my first observations too, unlike Redliner and Death Dealer, this one does not say an empty spot in your arsenal. So potentially it could be used with Honing Hood. And because it does kind of an opt, actually, I wonder why they didn't use opt for a look at the top card of your deck. Maybe you have to show it to your opponent or something. I don't know. But anyway, that kind of is the mechanic of the cross wrap. So, or the Skullbone, right? Cross wrap. So like you don't need to run that. You could run the Honing Hood, have 2 arsenal slots. This will allow you to put more than one card in your arsenal. Yeah. So we've opened up that capability to Azalea now. So there's that, which kind of makes it a better bow, I think, or potentially. And then of course, then you have the aim counter that we don't know. So
yeah. Exactly, yeah. So if we look at the text yet again, people in the chat can point us out if we think it wouldn't work, or if you think of any interactions that might be sick, just obviously let us know. We can try and cover those today. But yeah, look at the top card of your deck. So you have a look at it. You don't have to reveal it to your opponent.
Sorry, I said Honing Hood. Jeez, and I meant New Horizons. Sorry, Grand. You got me. You're right.
Lovely. So who said that in the chat? Grand Engin.
Grand.
Well done, Grand Engin. Lovely. New addition to the cult as of today. So yeah, New Horizon is what Jim was referring to. That's fair enough. The additional Arsenal Zone one. So yeah, this says pay 1. Look at the top card of your deck. So you just look at it. Opt means that you could change it if you wanted to change it to the bottom, but we can't do this on this bow, which is
oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't change it out with an opt. We just have to leave it there. You have to look at it. Then it says you may put an arrow card from your hand on top of your from your hand or your deck, top of your deck, face up into your arsenal and go again. So a lot of people have been saying in the Discord and other places on the internet today that it essentially gives you a sort of 5-card or extended hand, which is what Ranger needs, is more access to cards, because sometimes you do have a hand where you have nothing to use, and sometimes you might have a card in your arsenal, you use the cross wrap to opt 1, the arrow still isn't there. What you could then do is you can pay 1 into your bow to then look at the top card, and if it is an arrow, you can then put that into your arsenal or do whatever you want with it.
Or choose the Azalea ability it, or I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of versatility to it, it seems.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think it will help also the sort of go tall strategy and trying to find that one arrow that you might need in order to sort of filter and opt and try and find the right arrow to do maximum damage. I think it might also allow you to run less arrows in your deck in order to go the massively tall route, because you are digging further. So you could include more opts, more things like this. Ridge Rider shots also become quite good in this, because if you then look at the top card and it's a Ridge Rider shot, you can put that card, the Ridge Rider shot, face up into your arsenal. Allows you to opt again because you put it, and it's the same with a headshot, one of your favourite cards. If that's put on the in your arsenal face up with this bow, it will get the buff as well. So that's also quite good.
I'm just thinking too, what about like tri-shot, activating the bow more than once? Like maybe you could do some crazy things with that in this bow.
Yeah, I wonder how that would stack, because you look at the top card of your deck 3 times, but then I think that would still be the top card of your deck, because you can't switch it out, would you? So I'm not sure if tri-shot would work, because if it says look at the top card...
no, you're right.
I think, anyway. Because you only get to use the instance once of look at the top card, so you won't be able to look at lower cards beneath that, I don't think. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. A lot of people have been speculating about how you could use this, and what's Captain Wu is saying. I mean, you can up the top card of the deck for a pump. Look at the top card of the deck for a pump card.
Good card, yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, and if you've got an arrow card in hand, you could put the arrow card that you've got on your hand into your arsenal. But then you wouldn't be able to get the one off the top. So you could activate Azalea potentially if you got that on the top. But yeah, it allows loads of different things to happen. Lots of different lines. I'm sure we are going to see more cards as well in the future in Dynasty that will give us more that interact with this. And of course, the take aim, or not take aim, but the aim counters themselves are something we've never seen before. So there's been a lot of speculation around what the aim counters do as well. So what do you think, or what would you like the aim counters to do you think, Jim?
Yeah, it is tough because it's a counter. So meaning, I assume you stack them, do more than one. I mean, I think the best guess and ones I've seen already so far would be like an aim counter would then not allow them to, use a equipment to block with. Like, so if it's one aim counter, then it's one equipment they can't block with, etc. Another interesting one I saw just before we went live was that it allows you to target things maybe. So like you can, instead of shooting the hero, you're going to aim and target a piece of equipment, or aim and target something else and shoot with that. Yeah. Then more generically, it could just be adding damage.
Could just be adding damage, yeah. I think as you say, this could be the easy way out. Would just be adding damage. Taking aim just goes into the theme of making sure that you hit your target, and therefore maybe adding some form of evasion. Obviously, as we've seen already with this set, we've got overpower, which is a form of evasion or form of getting round the defences. So maybe take aim is a little bit of a step further for that. Maybe as a ranger, we have to sort of take a turn off to take aim a little bit, or load our aim counters, and then suddenly, when we do have a big arrow turn, we can deplete all of our aim counters and then just get straight through without having to worry about what they're blocking with potentially.
Absolutely. I'm reading some of the combos in the chat, and there's going to be a lot of experimenting, I think, once we know what the aim counters are, and also obviously, Ranger's going to get more cards in this set. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be just this bow, so we're going to have some more variables to kind of work with. Yeah,
exactly. And it's going to be interesting as well, because the aim counters. I keep saying take aim because that's all I can think about when I think of aim. I think of take aim, the buff card.
Sure.
But this could even be alluding to another hero that works with aim counters, or other cards or permanents on board that care about aim counters. But yeah, there's going to be a lot, and I think a lot of people are very, very interested to know what they are now as a result of today's reveal. So speculate away. But also another thing could be arrows that have aim counters on them have go again as well, potentially. So it could give go again to your arrows that don't have go again naturally by having aim counters. But then I don't think that thematically works. You're not taking aim to shoot multiple arrows at once thematically, are you?
Yeah, Yazil has an interesting comment there, thinking that the aim counters are only going to do anything specific, or are going to do anything specific. I think specific cards are just going to have additional effects if you have the counter. So basically new cards that are going to interact with aim only. So but not doing anything to any other arrows seems like kind of a waste, but maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, well, yeah, because if you think about it, an aim, a counter is not a token, so it doesn't have an effect already. It's not like a frostbite or a quicken token or something that will affect another card. So I guess in essence that means that the tokens have to enable other cards that work with them. already, I guess.
Right.
So it needs to be a new card or a new hero because aim counters don't.
Or an equipment like that was just mentioned. Maybe an equipment that uses aim. Then there's mention of mech maybe using aim with the gun. So there's a lot of space there.
Yeah, there's a lot of space there. But yeah, I mean, at this moment in time, that is what we have. I think it's pretty good. It's a nice little space, and again, I think it's only going to be explored further as we get higher. It's going to get deeper into the dynasty cards, and I can't wait to see what other people spoil for this. There's going to be arrows. There's going to be non-attack actions. There's going to be stuff that does stuff with take aim counters. So it's just a sense of finding out what they're going to be. So let me just have a look at this chat, see if we've missed anything.
I'm still, man, like you could actually potentially kind of have a 6-card hand here if you have a tunic to activate the bow, and you already have a card in arsenal.
Yeah.
You could put the top card into the arsenal, and then you got 2 arsenal cards and a 4-card hand that you're ready to rock with.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I mean. That's when it goes into the card advantage, having a bit of card advantage on your bow for those situations. The tunic enabling to you look at the top card is essentially giving you the option to play with a 5-card hand, as long as you've got an arrow in your hand that you can then play, potentially dominate of Azalea's ability. Yeah, there's a lot of lines that are going to open with this. It's still going to be very complex, as Ranger is and as Azalea is. I mean, there is probably avenues with Lexi as well, although I wouldn't know how to sort of evaluate those, so I haven't really played her that often. Because I can see Andrew Mason in the chat is saying there's some Lexi implications potentially as well, or at least you could give it a go, because again, as you say, it doesn't care about, or it doesn't look like on the surface it cares about an arsenal that's not empty. It cares about just arsenal in general, isn't it? So you could run the New Horizon with it, as you said.
Yeah.
They have counters, but the counters themselves don't have an effect. Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier, Yeezel. So the counters themselves, like, you know, obviously like tokens, like Quicken and stuff, they already have predetermined rules, whereas aim counters don't. So it imagines that the actual cards that we get, or the arrows that we get in Dynasty, have to use those aim counters to effect. So that obviously means...
You know, I wonder if we'll get a new Ranger hero that once it gets to X counters or something like that, or once you have an arrow with a counter, it does something. So, you know, that's a possibility, because I think we've all kind of agreed there's probably several heroes that haven't been revealed yet. And maybe there's a new Ranger hero.
Yeah, exactly. Alec is saying also every class seems to have their own counter type, like Rune Blade and obviously Rune Chance. Who else has other counters? They have. Well, that's a token, isn't it? That's a token, Alec. So that's what we were saying just a moment ago. They're not tokens. They're not tokens. They're counters. So they have to work with other cards that reference them, because they don't have their own text. They are just counters. Are there any other counters in the game right now, like Dawnblade counters? I guess.
I mean, a tunic has a counter that was pointed out earlier.
Energy counters. What else? Steam counters. I mean, the counters on them by themselves don't do anything.
Oh, Evan. Hey, Evan's one of my local guys here in DC. What's up, Evan?
Nice.
He has an interesting one. Speaking of mech, maybe an item will interact with the counter. Like, so he gives an example: Ranger action item, once per turn effect, remove an aim counter from an arrow if you do the attack cannot be blocked, or something. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because I think, like we saw recently on the Azalea Cult episode 5 with Paweł Leszuk, the guy who took Azalea to top 8 of Polish Nats, he was playing a defensive sort of build-up style Azalea. So maybe the aim counters want you to be that sort of archetype where you're just controlling the game, using a lot of D-reacts, building up your aim tokens, and then just unleashing hell on one turn. That's dirty to me. Yeah, I don't know if I like where that's going.
This is an 18+ channel, so you know, you say what you want. But
we leave that for the Supreme Leader. I want her to talk dirty to me.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Even if it is sort of what, 5:30 in the afternoon for you. You happy to?
Not quite 5 o'clock. It's about almost 4:30 on the East Coast here in the US.
Nice. Alec is saying Runeblood incantation for Runeblade has a unique counter. Runeblade incantation. Does it? Oh yeah, the incantation tokens that you put on every turn, that you remove every turn, then you get a rune chant from it. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So those counters need the other cards in order to work. So I guess we're going to get a lot of cards with the aim mechanic on them, which is going to be obviously going to want to add those cards into this deck if you're using this bow. So that in itself as well will lead us to an entirely new build with either Azalea or Lexi, where you have to use the aim counter cards to get maximum value. So it's going to be interesting to see how that influences deck lists across Azalea and Lexi at the same time.
Captain Wu says maybe the trap cards can become useful, basically. I don't know. We'll have to see. It would be nice to be able to effectively use traps, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's going to be funny to see if we get any trap style things. But I think we need to reload in order to do the trap style things. We need to be able to reload more. Grant is saying she can dominate me. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
That's how it is right there.
That's how it is. Goblin Reserve saying...
Praise be.
Yeah, praise be our glorious leader. Goblin Reserve, welcome to the chat. Holy shit, or holy shut, they've said. These two are sexy. I think they're referring to both of us, so yeah. But as I said earlier, Goblin Reserve, I'm ugly in real life, mate. You'll find out.
Hank's awesome.
Yeah, lovely guy.
He and Wifey have a spoiler coming too, by the way.
They do indeed, yeah. So people in the chat, if you haven't subscribed to Goblin Reserve, who are in the chat, you should be able to navigate to their page, as they have a spoiler coming as well. Yeezel is saying, I'm really curious as to what the other range of cards are going to be. Yes, absolutely. And again, it's going to be archetype defining, again, I think.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think we might even get another equipment, possibly, not just this bow. So maybe another equipment, and then obviously other Ranger cards. So, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I mean, I think before we sort of, the chat is going off. There's only so much time we can spend on the live streams. Maybe if this is a popular way to do it, we can do it this way instead, or just do it every now and again. Because I like to have like the community sections where you get all the questions and stuff on the screen. But this is a lot easier. So if you want to see more of Azalea Cult live, we can definitely do more of these in the future. I forgot what I was going to. I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe it was one of these comments up here. Really curious as to what the other range of cards are going to be doing. Interestingly, Jacques Vajra is saying, interestingly, the bow has something to do with the Sand Illusionist clan in Volcor. I wonder if the take aim counters have illusionist-like abilities.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So you can actually
have to read up some more on the lore of that area and see how that might work. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, loving the comments on here, loving the sort of the deep dives into there. Good stuff doing the research. This is what the Azalea cult is all about, and this is what the people like with Azalea, is that she has good lore. She has good sort of, she's a character that struggles, and I think a lot of that speaks to a lot of people. They don't want to play on easy mode. They don't want to play the meta decks. They want to play our beautiful sort of original Ranger, praise be. And see if they can see if they can get through the defense of their opponent with suboptimal cards, which is always a good sign.
I kind of hope it isn't something that is like an illusionist, because it kind of, at least with Azalea, it takes away from her, kind of Pit's lore or whatever. Like, yeah. I don't know, I don't see her using any illusionist abilities. Like, she's mechanical. She's down to the raw fight. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, exactly. But I do think as well, obviously we've seen. Again, I said Paval earlier, is doing this sort of defensive ranger capabilities where they want to sort of build up for a big turn. Maybe that feels like what the aim counter is going to be doing.
Maybe so. Absolutely. And that's becoming more popular. Didn't you just have a game the other day with Joey? He was all defensive or all react and waiting for that big turn.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that fits.
Oh, no, you guys were talking about doing it. That's what it was. He had a match, and then he was talking about matching up with you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was playing another guy in the chat as well. The guy cosplayed Bravo and won. He's in Discord, Seba Korji. He played him again. They played against his Bravo and beat him, which is interesting because I always struggle against Bravo, the stuff I use. So yeah.
Sorry, Yuzil. I hope she gets a guide dog ally that improves blind Azalea in some way.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I just had a picture of Azalea with a pit bull or something, like just looking really nasty.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, she does have in the Sikkim shot art. She does have those demon dog things chained up. So
yeah, the hounds. Yeah, those demon hounds.
yeah, maybe we get some of those in the future. Beastmaster Azalea. God, brilliant. I'd be her dog on a chain. To be fair.
A wolf.
Yeah. Making all sorts of noises for our supreme leader. But yeah, Yeezel, that's right.
Going back to dominate me there.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it's getting late. It's getting dirty today, isn't it? But yeah, I think that again, that's pretty much all we can really speculate on at the moment, because obviously the aim counters.
We need to know what aim is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of the card. I think a big part of the enabling. And it does say again on the card as well, it says whenever an arrow is put face up in arsenal from your deck, it gets an aim counter. So if you activate Azalea, that puts that card face up into your arsenal, so you will get an aim counter from the Azalea trigger. If you are still trying to dominate arrows off the top, you're then going to get an aim counter on older arrows. But what does that mean for the older arrows? If you put an aim counter on a red in the ledger, what does that mean? You know?
Right, exactly. Like I mean, maybe it does nothing, but I'd really like it to do something, like to make all our old arrows effective or new in some way. So let's hope that it is the case that it's an equipment or something that is interacting with those aim counters or some other passive ability that it can work with most arrows. We'll have to see though. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. You reminded me. Yeah, so aim counters, how would they work with the old arrows that we have? So in order for that to happen, we need either a piece of equipment which says arrows with aim counters on them do this, or we need a new card which stays in play, like an item or an aura or something like that. Going back to,
or I guess a new hero.
Yeah, or a new hero. So we need a permanent on the field. Sorry to reference Magic, but we need a permanent piece of stuff on the field in order to get these aim counters working. So we need either a piece of equipment.
Permanence in Fab, man. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, no, that's right. They are in Fab because the Imperial Warhorn reference permanence now, doesn't it?
And the rules, it calls things permanence when they stay in the arena.
It does. Oh yeah, because you're level one judge.
All right, that's right. Yeah, hopefully level 2 here shortly. We'll see.
Lovely. So yeah, for take aim counters, we need a permanent in play, whether that's an equipment, an aura, or an item that is in this set, which then enables older arrows to potentially get buffs from the aim counters. So we will see. Captain Wu is saying maybe a NAA, so non-attack action that gives bonuses. Yeah, so maybe there will be other. This is interesting, yeah. So maybe there's permanence that
a pump card exactly, a card that you play first that'll interact with those counters.
That's right, yeah. So maybe there's an item that you play that says at instant speed, remove an aim counter from this, give target arrow +3, or remove an aim counter from this. It can't be defended by attack reactions, defense reactions, or that sort of thing. So it builds into that defensive, build your board state type ranger that Paval was playing with the OTK deck. So, but yeah, we will see.
I don't know, adding more versatility I think it's just all good things.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why we love these supplemental sets or expansion sets as they're called now, is because they're just giving us more good stuff for the people that and the heroes that we know and love. Support for everyone, which is good.
Absolutely.
But I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much all we can speculate on today. So I appreciate everyone who's checked out the video today. I was really, really pleased with the response that we got for that. And yeah, just bringing the hype early on in spoiler season. It's good to see people are very excited about this and still tentative about it, because we don't know what the take aim is. Everyone who says, "Oh, that arrow, that bow, shit! Oh, look at that, it's rubbish," you don't even know, because you haven't seen the other cards.
Those are the Azalea haters. I mean, they're just going to hate anything that comes out. Like,
exactly.
You're going to have to be in the cult to really appreciate the bow.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we've seen nothing yet, and we got a load of good people with some spoiler cards. Goblin Reserve in the chat, you're one of them. And we got loads of other creators as well that are going to be spoiling some stuff. I'm hoping for a piece of equipment. We have seen some other creators that have spoiled equipment-esque or going to spoil equipment-esque cards soon. So I'm hoping for a Ranger chest. Maybe Chalice, the cosplayer. She's got a card. Maybe she gets to spoil the Azalea equipment, because she wears it in real life.
Yeah, that would be awesome, actually.
Yeah, but who knows? We will see very, very soon. But thank you very much for
And you
everyone who's...
mentioned you'll have it at Worlds, so you may even give one away at Worlds. Dude,
right.
maybe we need to have like an Azalea cult meetup or something, and have everybody come together for that.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so if you're in the chat or if you're in the Discord, if you are in the Azalea cult at the moment, we can organise a meetup at Worlds where we'll be giving away free membership cards. Normally you have to earn these through a competition or something, but if you come and meet us and do a big Azalea cult gathering, we'll just give you one there and then to sort of celebrate the occasion of the cult.
We'll bring some other goodies too as well.
Yes.
So
yes, and. As I said earlier, I don't know how I'm going to be doing this, but yeah, one of these will be given away to a certain degree. I just don't know how or when or how or why yet. Well, I know why, because I want to give it away. It's a great card. I've got two of them. I've got two of the things.
Come up with a fun way to give it away. Everybody have like an equal chance or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much all we've got time for today. But I appreciate everyone who's dropped into the chat very, very prematurely. This was a very much off-the-cuff thing. We knew we wanted to speak about it, but just thought it would be good to get everybody involved and get their sort of thoughts and feelings on it as well. So thank you very much, everybody. Goblin Reserve
thanks for joining.
Yeah, Goblin Reserve is saying something about a sale on your website, Jim.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'm doing just a third birthday sale for Flesh and Blood just to celebrate the third birthday. So it's 10% off on fabtcgcards.com right now for the next few hours, at least till midnight my time.
Nice. So if you're hearing that now, then obviously get on it. If you need some cards for the Azalea, then see what Jim's got on fabtcgcards.com and try and snap those up while you can, because obviously there's a lot of Azalea speak going on right now, and obviously we're going to get more cards.
And the cult's only going to grow. The height's only going to grow.
Exactly. So yeah, thank you very much all for joining in, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Azalea Cult as and when it comes.